What is going on, everybody? This is another Tuesday night hangout for all my IBMOR brothers out there. How you guys doing? This is Art. Hope everybody's having a wonderful week so far. What's up? I'm listening. What's up, Ed Unchained? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing great. Now, I was supposed to do this Saturday, but I ran out of time, so I decided to do it Tuesday. There was no vote on it. Just something I wanted to put out there because it's something I've been thinking about that I don't think a lot of brothers actually voiced or had a profound voice in. It's about, what do black men actually want? Like, what is it that we want out of life, out of our women, out of our outcomes, out of our country? And I left it open like that so people could come on and ask or to tell the world what do they want, because no one really asks us what do we want. No one considers how we feel about certain things, what we think about certain things. No one actually does that. And I wanted today to be that time to where people could come on to the panel and express what they want. Well, I want black men to come on this panel and express what they want. Give you and have you the chance to say what it is. Because I know a lot of times when we talk to our family members or other people outside of this YouTube thing, it's always try to be a suppressed black man. It's to be suppressed. You know, as a black man, you're supposed to be suppressed compared to your woman. You're supposed to be suppressed compared to society. You're supposed to be suppressed when it comes to job opportunities. You're supposed to be suppressed. You're supposed to be put down. And I know for a damn fact that's not what I want out of my life. And I lived that throughout my life ever since I was able to breathe air. I want the best out of the best. I want the best life that I possibly can attain. That's what I want. So, to all you brothers out there that wants to come on to the panel, I'll let you on in a minute. But I know there's going to be some characters going to just try to come up here. And I'll just say this. This is a IBMOR channel, because I know I put a Kevin Samuels video out yesterday, and it got a lot of views and a lot of people subscribe. I don't know what the races of the people are, but I'm just gonna say this now and just let everybody know. This is a black man's channel. Only for black men. I do not allow women to be on my channel. At least on panels. Not to say that women are not welcome. They can speak their mind. They can speak their voices in the chat. I have no problem with that. As long as they're being respectful. They can have a difference of opinion. That's fine. But as long as they're not being super disrespectful to the men, because this is a black men's channel, that's fine. Other races of people, they can come in, make comments. That's fine, unless they're not being super disrespectful. Because I'm not a super disrespectful person. Not in the least. We can have discussions. We can have a civil discussions, but nothing will be super disrespectful to the point where I'm going to have to kick you off. And this message is just for the new people that come through, because I know I got a lot of subscribers and viewers from that video, and this is just a PSA for them. But most of you guys that have been coming to my channel, who know who I am, you already know the deal when it comes to this part of the YouTube. So that's just my PSA to the new guys. I welcome you to be a part of the discussion. I welcome you to come onto the panel to discuss these topics. And pretty much that's it. Thank you, Jay Chapaz. He says, we want the same thing every other men want. Yeah, we do. I don't want to be treated special. I don't. I've never wanted to be treated special or be like a special little thing or like an ornament to people. I want my work to speak for itself. If I'm good at what I do, then compensate me for what I do. That's ultimately what I want out of life. I want to be respected for the things that I do, respected for my work ethic, respected for my tenacity to do the right thing. That's what I want. And you know what? I got that confirmation last night, which is funny because this is something that, we're talking about, but I got that confirmation last night. Now, most of you guys know that I work third shift. I work for a bread company. And throughout my life, I've always strived to do the best job that I possibly can, and to make sure that if I'm doing my job, it also helps out the next people after me. So because of my job, I work in a bread company, and I make sure that the orders that are placed, people can actually find their orders. They don't have to look everywhere for them. They don't have to look over here and over there. I try to put everything together, organize, and make sure everything is in exact order, because as a tourist, I like routine. And I place everything in exact same routine so everybody knows how to find it. And I've been doing this job for the past 10 years, so I'm very good at it. So as I'm doing my paperwork last night, so that way I could send it into the home office, a driver comes into the office where I'm at, and he gives me $100 Visa gift card. And I asked him, why are you giving me this? And he told me, you make our job so much easier. We wanted to give you this. Keyword we. He said, we appreciate everything you do for us. And then he just left. It was no like small talk or anything like that. He just like, look, we appreciate you, man. If people don't appreciate you, we do. That's what he did for me. That's what they did for me. And this isn't the only time they did. When COVID-19 first happened, and I started having 3 to 4 trucks a night, and had to make sure everybody got their stuff in order, had to make sure that their stuff was in line, so that way their shortages and all that stuff was not, you know, extravagant to the point where they couldn't figure out what was going on. I made sure all that stuff was happening. I made sure I made the necessary adjustments, cuts, letting them know what was going on. Call them up when the trucks were coming late and stuff like that. What was going on? Give them updates. They took it upon themselves to gather money during that time to give to me, to say we appreciate you. And honestly, I think that's what a lot of black men want, to be appreciated if they do go that extra mile. Oh, honestly, you want to be appreciative for the things that you do. You want to be appreciative for giving that extra detail into your work. At least that's what I want. I want to be appreciated for that. And I got that confirmation last night. And I also got that confirmation during COVID. During that whole month, when my town was on lockdown, those guys appreciated me. My bosses appreciate me. They appreciate the hard work I do. That's one of the things I wanted, and I got that. One of the very few things I wanted. So this is going to be a panel for black men to voices about what do they want? What do they want out of the women? As I said before, what do they want out of the work? What they want out of life? And we're going to have that conversation today. Now, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'll keep it open as long as I possibly can, because there's some other stuff I wanted to do as far at least at 12 o'clock. So I don't think it's going to last to 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but I do know that this is a conversation that needs to be had. It really is. So without further ado, I am going to drop the link to the StreamYard. I want you gentlemen to come on and voice your opinion. Voice what you want, because people are watching. They are. There is the StreamYard link. Get on a panel and let it be known. What's up, AB Media? Appreciate you. Tank Johnson, OS&D. I'm not too sure what OS&D means, sir. You're going to have to explain that to me. Mr. Shane Vicious, he says, dare women. What do you mean by that? What's up, Shaka New? I ain't seen you in a while, man. What's up, my Taurus brother? Hope everything's going good with you. I see you on your channel working. That's what's up. There you go. I don't know why it was up there. And appreciate you, Nathan Theodore Francis. Appreciate you. What's going on, AB?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right. Pretty much the same thing. You said you wanted, to be judged for my work, for what I actually do, and people be appreciated for what I do for people.
Right. Was there ever a time that you didn't feel like you were being appreciated for what you did?
Oh, all the time.
I mean, go into that.
It's changed over the past few years, but a lot of stuff my grandmother and my mother did, nobody appreciates. Drove my mother to drove from pretty much one city to the other to make sure my mother got to dialysis. And
Mm-hmm.
people still act like I never did anything for my mother. And there's so much stuff. It's not even funny.
BGS says your volume is low, AB. Is there any way you
Okay,
could turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, hold on. Let me come back in.
All right, come back in. Appreciate you. What's up, BGS? Yeah, a lot of men just want to feel like they're appreciated in this for what they do. As far as being recognition for work or if they do something, just show appreciation. And I think a lot of black men lack having people appreciate them for what or anything that they do, which is a fucking shame, in my opinion. It is a fucking shame. And I think it starts when we're kids, because we're always often looked over. What's up, Wilmer? How you doing, sir? I will also say that men also, they want respect. That's something men want. Respect as a man. I think far too many times we have like sisters that come in our face and don't respect us as men or men of our communities, because we're always being bypassed. And you see this with, hell, even the United States of America, to where they got laws that don't even acknowledge us. And when they do acknowledge us, we're then being tossed to the side for something else. Said blessed, Wilmer. That's what's up, man. I think too many times we go through that shit and it's not fair. It's not right. But it is what it is. And like I said, these spaces, like the one I'm doing in this part of YouTube right now, is important, because people should be respected for the work that they do, and that we shouldn't get so much fucking pushback on it to the point where it's stupid ridiculous. You have people that come into these spaces who have no idea about what you're talking about, but want to argue about what you're doing. They have no idea what your expertise are, or if they do know, they still want to argue with you. It's laughable. This is the reason why a lot of men, to be honest with you, don't want to be stepfathers, because they get no respect. Stepfathers don't get no respect. Even if you're trying to be a stepfather, you get no respect. And I know that firsthand, because one of my exes who had kids, I don't have kids. She had no respect for me for what I was doing for her daughter. Taking her to plays, picking her up from school. I got no respect out of that. She didn't appreciate that at all. And a lot of women who are in that situation, they wonder why guys don't want to be stepfathers. That's why. See, the boomer women knew that if a man had to be a stepfather, he needs to be respected to the utmost, because he did not have to be there. But now with so many of these younger women out here, their main thing that they say is just worry about me, don't worry about my kids. Meaning to a guy is this: fuck my kids, worry about me. When you tell that to a guy, that's what a guy's hearing. Fuck my kids, worry about me. And if a man is about anything, he's gonna look at that as a red flag. Blood Brolin says, even being a father or older brother, you get no respect. That's true. Because what's the one thing in the black community that that's being celebrated is that if a woman or older woman passes, everybody comes together. But when the father passes, those funerals are sometimes skipped. Even during the football ceremonies, what they say, hi mom. They never say hi dad, hi mom and dad. It's always the dad that's being pushed back. Which is ridiculous in my opinion, because your father is an example to a young man of what a man is supposed to be. Just like with my father, I learned how to be a man because of my father, because he was there, because of who he was or is, because he's not past yet, but who he is as a person. It's a good dude. I appreciate everything he's done. My siblings may feel otherwise, but for me, I appreciate my father for all he's done, for all he has sacrificed for his family. And I don't think my dad gets enough respect for what he's done. And that's why I try to give my father all the respect that he needs, that I feel like he does need from me. I do. Because it's tough being a father in today's environment. It's tough being a man in today's environment, needless to say. Even now, I got to make sure that my Christmas gifts can mount up to the point of what, I feel like he deserves. And every time that I get a chance to go down there to see him, I let him know that he's respected by me. I respect him for his sacrifices. Brian Will, this very question would cost 70% of the master to go total brain freeze. Possibility, Brian, but guess what? This conversation needs to happen. And if people in the master are not talking about it, then you have to ask them, are they really about the man, sphere? Are they really about men? Or are they just really about just talking? Because I'm here for you guys. I'm here for black men. That's why I wanted to have this conversation.
All right, does my mic sound better?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right.
Jason Bass says, we declare our right on this earth to be a man. On how this statement is so valid today is to this society, in this society. True. Shucka New, he says, same here. I was raised by my pops. He returned to his essence in 17. Sorry for your loss. Peace to your father, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Credit Tech Guy with all his jokes says, black man want a McRib.
He ain't lying. I do kind of want to make the rib right now, but still.
This motherfucker right here. But anyway, go ahead, AB. What you were saying?
Yeah, but particularly when I started getting on YouTube, some of my work got appreciated. Some of the work I did over the years started getting appreciated a little bit more. Yeah. I got on YouTube heavily probably around 2018, 2019. Started making content around the end of 2019 and haven't stopped.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm waiting for a video to upload right now.
Also, I saw your other video about Kamala.
Oh,
I'm vice president. I'm vice president.
yeah.
You can't talk to me, Charmaine. I'm vice president. Marquis Kid. He said, "This question is so foreign to me. I can't remember being asked this question much in my life." Which
You
is not,
probably weren't.
yeah,
Yeah.
you weren't, because you were supposed to sacrifice yourself for everybody else, but you get nothing. You, in the black community, black men are a stepping stool, which is fucked up.
I know it's unfortunate.
You're not to be asked. You're to be used. That's it. You are to be used in the black community as see fit for the women to advance themselves. If you are supposed to be the villain, then you are the villain. If you're supposed to be the hero, then you are the hero. You're nothing more than cannon fodder. And it needs to stop.
It's going to stop, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not here on this earth to appease anyone but myself. Period. Period. This is one of the reasons why you're not asked this question, what do you want? Because you're not supposed to want from anything. But go ahead, AB. I didn't mean to be all forceful with that, but I just had to let that out.
No, you're good. I was uploading my video. You're good. Doing some tips on Windows 11.
But have you? Let me be honest with you. Have you ever someone ever asked you what you want, or did they tell you what you want?
I've had plenty of people try to tell me what I want.
But no one really asked you what you wanted out of your life, or what you wanted out of people, or anything like that. No one asked you that.
No, of course not.
No, I never had nobody ask me what I wanted. They tried to tell me what I needed to do, and that shit didn't fly with me. Not at all. Anything that I wanted, I had to go straight for. If I wanted it, I went out and found a way how to get it. And that's what I did. I knew, and especially in my community, it wasn't going to happen. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think a lot of black men need to stop just sitting back and being pawns, because half of that responsibility falls on us. If we don't want to be pawns, then we don't need to be accepting the fact of pawnship. Stop being a pawn for other people if you don't want to be one.
Exactly.
I had to get to that point where I had to stop being the damn pawn. And guess what? People were mad because I was not following the plan for me. And I didn't give a fuck. Because I knew what I wanted as a man out of my life. And just because you have a predestined plan for me doesn't mean I have to follow it. Every man has a right to choose his path in life.
Yep, my mother learned that. She eventually just stopped fighting me over it. She's gone now, but still.
Every man has a path to follow in life. Every man has his wants, his desires, He deserves to have it met. Because every other man can get their desires met. Every other man can do that. Why can't black men? So what other wants do you want, AB, since you're the only one up here? If you guys want to get up here and talk, y'all need to keep closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah, I want some peace. Peace. I don't want to have to come home after doing work and have to hear some nobody wants to come home to that. That's one reason I'm single. I'd rather be by myself to come home to hear if you can't tell, I've heard a lot of that over the years. Like I don't want to hear that shit anymore. I don't care how fine she is. There's just certain stuff I'm just not going to deal with anymore. Get too old.
No, I understand that. Because I get too old too with that shit. That's one of the reasons why I became a MGTOW monk.
I know. To BGS, we're still young, but I'm getting too old for some of this shit. Some of the bullshit these women doing.
No, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm done. I really don't. I've gotten to the point to where I am content with my peace and me being alone. That's just me. I don't tell this to let young guys follow the same footsteps as me per se, but I'm just saying this for myself. I am content with my peace and me being alone. I'm content. What's going on, Michael Carter?
I'm good.
What it is that you want, sir?
I want to say.
Say what?
You said what it is I want to say?
Nah, the panel is, what do black men want? So I'm asking you the question, what do you want?
Well, it's not what do black men want. It's about what do you want as a general person, because we can't speak for every black man.
The question is, what do black men want? What do you want?
I could speak about what I want. I don't know about what every black man wants.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I would like to have peace with black men and black women, but I know that's never gonna happen. So my answer is going outside your race and leaving the black woman alone, just like they left us alone.
Okay, so you want to date out? Okay, what else do you want? Because because the thing is, society and people in our family never ask us this question, and so a lot of black men get stumped when they get asked this question because they're never really freaking thought about themselves. Because in this society, in this our culture, you're not supposed to think about yourself, and never really sat down and think about it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure that you have never really been asked that question, what do you want? You've always been told about what you want.
But have you ever? When my mom made me she asked me what do I want,
So what it is that you want out of your life?
That's a hard question to ask
because you never thought about it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this whole panel, is to get you to think about what it is that you want out of your life.
I can speak about myself, but I don't know about every black man. That's what I'm telling you.
I didn't say every black man. I said you. That's the the end game is you. What do you want? You are an individual. You
Mhm.
have a right to want something out of your life. The reason why you're having such a hard time talking about this is the simple fact that you never
I can tell
thought
you,
about it.
I want the money and the power.
What else?
And generational wealth, build an empire.
Go into that, man. This is your time. This is your time to say what you want.
I want to change the world if I can, but I'm not gonna die for the black community. I try, but I can't do enough, and I leave it alone. I'm not gonna
That's
end
all
up
you
like
got to
this.
do.
Huh?
That's all you got to do. Nobody's asking you to die for the black community here.
We're just asking you, what do you want?
Yeah.
I already told you what I wanted.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
He dropped. Why did he drop?
Okay.
Why did you drop off? See, this is the reason why this conversation needs to be had. This is why this conversation needs to be had, and I want every black man in the chat to think about this, because what it seems to me is that no one really asked him what it is that he wants, what it is that he desires. And because
Yeah.
he had such a hard time trying to answer that question, such a hard time trying to answer that question. He's never really thought about it for himself. As if he does say something, it's just about repeating talking points, but it's never really about who he is as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You as an individual, what it is that you want. I can say it for me because I thought about it in my life. Because unlike a lot of black people, I don't look at myself as like the whole entire community. I look at myself as like I'm art first, then the community.
Right.
That's who I think of as, and I don't have a hard time answering that question because I've always thought about it. Even when I do my live streams, I self-reflect on my live streams. I listen to my live streams and try to get something out of it. Maybe I could have done something different this way or that way. And this is what black men have a problem with because they never really thought about themselves first. Because it always came back to the community. No, I'm not talking about the community. I'm talking about you. As a man, a testosterone-filled man, what it is that you want. Marquis Kid, what's going on with you, sir?
What's up, Art? What's happening?
What's up, man? What it is that you want?
Man, like when you asked that question, I don't know, man. It hit me. I was like, at first, initially when I asked myself that question, I always, tell myself like, hey, what do I want? I just want everybody else to be straight. I want my family to be good. I want my community to be good. But, actually, aside from that, like, what do I want myself? I couldn't really even think of any for real that doesn't involve everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, teach people financial literacy. Wanted to start a hedge fund. I want to move back, to the continent. Maybe you could kind of say that's, kind of for me, but every time I've thought about that, it's always been, like you said, kind of in service to either my family or the community. So it is, it is kind of embarrassing that I can't necessarily think of what I really want aside from that, for myself.
No, because that's the way you've been taught. That's why. It is always into service of someone else and to put yourself down, to put yourself in a subservient position. That's not where Black men need to be at all. And we've been so indoctrinated with that whole idea that we need to be subservient to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of our major problems. That's what causes us not to have self-worth.
But my question is, can we compete as a group without having that mentality? You know?
You're thinking about the community. Are you thinking about yourself?
Well, I guess I kind of see the community and myself kind of as one, like you can't have one without the other.
Is that what you want?
Is that what I want? I think so. I mean, I think that's well.
Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about being subservient to the community? I guess that's the better question to ask. Do you want to be subservient to the community?
If I'm respected for it, if it gives me a favorable outcome and I'm respected for it, but when you say subservient, yeah, that hit different. You know what I'm saying? I don't
because just look at it like this. A customer goes to a restaurant to be served, right?
Yep.
You're a worker in the restaurant serving the community. You're giving the community what it wants. Community wants freedom, you give them freedom. Community wants money, you give them money. Is that what you want? Do you want to be subservient to the community and its desires and what it wants?
I don't know, not necessarily.
Then that's not what you want.
Yeah.
So what it is that what you want?
I mean, I guess I want the freedom to create, my own reality or my own, environment, ultimately.
Okay. Go into that.
Yeah, like just to be able to, move somewhere else and, create a community and, structure it the way that I would, how I think that would be best for it to function.
So you're still going back to service to the community.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, I'll put it to you like in this example. All right, I'll give you a few things that I want. I want to have the ability to pay all my bills and make sure that I have money to take care of the things that I need to take care of that are extra. I want to have the ability to actually fly across the country. I want the ability to go to Africa and possibly live off my 401k. What I want actually is to get a 72 Big Boss. I want that car. A 72 Big Boss. Oldsmobile Big Boss. I want a girl with a fat ass.
Yeah.
I mean, just be niggerish for a little second. I want to have the ability to be able to learn as much as I can about my people and our history. I want the ability to actually keep my functional abilities when I'm like 85 years old. I'm not put into a home. I want the ability to be respected for the things that I do. I want the ability to do a good job at my job, and I'd be appreciated from my upper bosses. I want the ability to be a boss. I've even thought about the ability to actually own my own deli restaurant and how that would work. As far as like ordering food from this location, meat, packaging, go to this warehouse up the street where they sell restaurant equipment, and just trying to figure out how much that's going to cost. It's probably going to cost about like $50,000 just to get started, in my rough estimation, if I'm thinking about it correctly. I want the ability to, once I hit past 45, I don't want to work anymore for somebody else. I'd rather probably work for myself. I want the ability to actually give my father a proper burial by helping him bury him in the ground and putting dirt on him. That's what I want. I want to give him that honor, that his firstborn child was able to bury him. Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
None of that has anything to do with the community. It has something to do with me.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I guess it's hard. I grew up playing team sports. You know, I grew up in the South, and we always ran as groups. We always had a clique, you know, the neighborhood, you know. So it's just hard for me to think about being alone. Like, that's how I feel now. Like, you know, I day trade now. You know, I make good money. I bought my first property. You know, I'm doing good. But, you know, the people that I would want to be, you know, investing with me and buying properties with me, the vision that I had growing up, they don't want to take any of this seriously. And, you know what I'm saying? It feels lonely for me just to be doing it. Takes away some of the joy of me, you know, coming up myself, you know?
Well, that's the question that we need to ask yourself. Is that what you want? If that's what you want, you have to understand the consequences and the direction that you're going in. Like, all the things that I've said, I can actually do by myself. When we're talking about a community, you got to have to involve other people. It just can't be about you. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't take on the entire community's problems just by with one man. Not even Malcolm X or Martin Luther King Jr. was just one man. He had a group. He had a network that they had to work off of to promote him. He may seem like he was one because he was the top guy, but he couldn't do it alone. He had to have help. But I'm not talking about you getting help from a network. I'm talking about you as an individual. What do you want personally? What do you want?
Similar to, like you said, I mean, I want to, you know.
Well, express that. This exercise is just so that you can express what you want, because no one's ever asked you that. You never really thought about it that way. That's why I'm having this. That's why I'm doing this live, because no one's really. I mean, be honest with you. Has anyone really told you what you want? Because I don't think it seems like it.
Has anybody ever asked me what I want? That's what you mean?
No, I asked you as, like, you know, personally, like, and they actually listen to you instead of telling you what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe very few times. Maybe, like, you know, maybe a teacher might have asked me that randomly in school. You know, like, you know, what do you want to do? You know, something like that. But outside of that, not really.
No, but let's see that, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to ask you. I mean, yo, what's up, dog? What do you want out of life? What you want?
What
you
I
want? You want an Acura NSX? What do you? I mean, seriously, what do you want?
Yeah, I wanted a nice Maserati. You feel me? As far as I want a nice mansion. You know, a compound in Nigeria or maybe in the Gambia. You know, I wanted a Maserati, but I don't know. They might try to, they might try to pull up on me if I'm just riding around in there in the Maserati. I might have to just get a charger or something like that. I don't know. And I want a wife. I want kids. To build a community with. I want to have my own garden, and eat healthy, make my own food fresh out the garden. I want, like I said, I want a hedge fund. I want to have that power that comes with being able to manipulate, money. I want to wear, nice clothes that are branded by myself or, my company. Yeah, like that type of stuff.
Now, didn't that feel good for you just expressing yourself?
Facts. Yeah, facts.
When has a black man been able to express himself like that? Just open and freely without judgment.
Yeah, not often. It's you automatically looked at as selfish if you just you look at it from that perspective.
So what? Everybody else is selfish. Why can't black men be?
That's true. You have a point.
Everybody else in this world can be selfish, from white men, white women, black women, Indians, Asians, Asian man, Asian woman. Everybody else can be selfish, but you have to be subservient to everything else. You can't be selfish. That's a problem, don't you think?
Yeah, that is a problem. That's a double standard,
It's not a double standard. It's a problem. It's a problem that needs to be fixed in our psyche. It's a problem that black men don't have that in their head to think that they shouldn't have to ask for anything.
But I can't lie. I can't help but wonder is that for us, I guess that it's hard for me not to go back to the collective. Is this healthy for us as a collective to think that way?
Is everybody else thinking as a collective?
Some people are. Depends on which culture you're talking about.
Is the majority of black women in your community thinking about black men and how they can help black men? When we're reading at a high school, at a middle school level in high school, are they thinking about that in the school system?
Not at all.
When it comes to putting money in education and programs for black men, are they thinking about black men or are they thinking about black girls?
Definitely black girls.
Are they thinking about you?
Yeah, well, I'll say they're thinking about black girls in a certain instance. Yeah, they are thinking you're thinking about HBCUs, money going to HBCUs. I must.
We just read an article stating that they're trying to pass a bill right now that's only going to deal with black women and black girls.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Mm-hmm. Are they thinking about black boys?
In that instance, no.
They're being selfish. Why can't you?
I feel, but this is my question though. In America, I agree with you 110%, but do I want to take that mentality to another community that might not have the same standard?
What community are you going to go to?
Like I've been...
That's not thinking about themselves selfishly.
You mean gender-based, or what do you mean?
You'd be surprised how many white men think of themselves selfishly. You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah. Definitely. That's what we,
I've heard my dentist talk about his wife and how he has her right where he wants her because she's dumb as fuck.
That was your dentist saying?
Yes.
Oh man. Nah, you're right. I definitely do see, especially here, I see a lot of people who have no problem, especially like being here in DC. because it's different. I'm from the South, so it's different in the
I'm
South.
from the South too. I'm from North Carolina, bro.
Yeah, so I'm from Orlando. I'm from Eatonville, you feel me, which is like one of the first black cities, you know. So our mentality is we just have a very group, at least the men. I mean, you know, the women, that's different, you feel me? But the men, I just have such a group mentality. I play sports. It's just hard. It's hard for me to think of, like, you know,
Well,
it
you
feel like
need to
it
start.
harms my self-image for me to think that I'm selfish, you know.
But it's imperative to know that you need to also think about yourself in such situations, because sometimes a group can lead you down the wrong path, unless you want to go down that path. If you want to go down that path, that's fine. But you have to understand yourself as a man first, and who you are as a person, to know that if that's a path that you don't want to go down, then you shouldn't go down there.
That's true.
Correct?
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
So this is why I want black men to know who they are as a person, so that way they can ask the question, what do I want? Because if you know yourself as the eternal person that you are, and you can fully realize who you are as an individual person, then you can know what you want and you can move through life accordingly.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, I definitely have been taking those steps, though. Like, I've always, you know, been that crutch, you know, for my family, even though I haven't received, you know, the same thing back. And I say, as of recently, you know, I just stopped doing that. Like, even like this Christmas, man, I'm like, hey, I don't celebrate Christmas, man, you know. You know, even with the shame, you know, I was just like, hey, it is what it is. I'm not buying everybody these gifts. I'm not doing this consumerism thing. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. So I have been working on it. It's hard. It's definitely hard. I can't flex, you know.
Because you've been brought up in it, and it's hard to change your worldview. Cornelius Bailey, $5. He says, without black women influence, many brothers are lost as fuck. And Lightbearer Council, I want anarchy. I won't get that. So I want a paramilitary engineering financial institution to respect my family, to be like the Robinsons from Lost in Space, integrity in my circle, being well off. Appreciate you, Lightbearer, for the contributions. But you see why this live is important to ask these questions, right?
Yeah, very much. I knew as soon as that you asked the question, as soon as I saw it, and the way you framed the question, you know, and the way that I reacted, you know, the way I felt, I knew it was important. I knew that it was one of those things that, you know, like that was just a part of the matrix that needed to be exposed and you know, dealt with, you know.
Because I see what I also want is the black man to not think that the entire community needs just to be on your back, because that's a lot of weight to bear. Like it's an extreme weight to bear, to think that the entire problems rest solely at your feet, and it don't. All you can do is, if you can give back, you can give back. But at the end of the day, you still have your life to live. You still need to be the man that you need to be.
That's facts. Hey, another thing I want, man, I want shout out to the nameless protagonist, man. I want the nameless protagonist to drop some more videos, some more content, man. I ran out, man. Got me over here fiending, man.
No, that may not be what he wants to do. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, he can get on the panel and answer for himself, but that may not be what he wants to do. It's his life. He can do whatever he wants to do, because he is responsible for himself and himself alone, first and foremost.
That's big facts.
He can put out content who he can't do. He's doing what he wants to do. They're just like every other black man needs to do. They need to do what they want to do. They need to be free. They need to be happy. They need to be content with their life. Without judgment, without guilt. If you have the ability to buy a super fancy car and it's not going to impact you in a negative way, then you should be able to do that. Because guess what? You got one life to live. Why not use it to be happy?
That's 100.
You're not subservient to the community. Because it's the community respecting you. If the community says they're respecting you, there's no reason for you to work for the community. The community is supposed to give back to those who give it something. If the community doesn't give back to you, then guess what? Then I'm not going to be. I'm going to do my own thing. Help out when I can, when I feel like it. But ultimately, I'm worried about my own happiness. Because at the end of the day, it's about me. Because you can have friends all you want to that you think are your friends. But ultimately, those people, same people, are probably hating on you and plotting against you. Trust me, I've been in that situation plenty of times.
Definitely, man. The envy is crazy.
That's one of the things that I try not to talk about how much money I make to my friends, because that actually ruined a friendship with one of my friends. Because he was unhappy with his life. And because he was unhappy with his life and saw me doing well, it destroyed our friendship. Just because he could have done a little bit more. But he thinks, just like a lot of other people think, you need to be in it with me. If I'm doing bad, you need to do bad too. No, I don't. What I want is greatness out of my life. Just because you don't want greatness, it's not my problem. True or false?
That's facts. Not at all. That ain't your problem at all.
Same thing with the community. I've always said this. If the community wants to do better, it will do better. And if it don't, it's not my problem. I want the community to do a lot of things, but if they're not going to do it, guess what? Not my problem. I want my nephew to do a lot of things. If he's not going to do it, guess what? Not my problem. I want my family to do a lot of different things. If they don't do it, guess what? It's not my problem. Because I can't fix them, but I can fix me. I can fix my own issues, my own problems, so that way I can get what I want. That's it. Is there anything else that you want? That you actually thinking about?
Honestly, I'm really just trying to digest right now this perspective.
Is this like the first time you ever heard something like this?
Nah, but I mean, I've heard it, but it's just like I never like embraced it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I heard it, I understand. You know, especially being in this space and looking at the community. You know, I came from the Pan-Africanist space, right? Which is like nameless say, the Hotep training, so automatically I started seeing, certain issues once I came to the space with the way that I thought. And I understand that I did need to be more, selfish in that way, or more just thinking about what I wanted myself, but going at but just in certain ways, but just thinking of it just in general, I don't know. It's just it's like some wires that's crossed, if that makes sense.
Because this is what I say, and this is why I say you shouldn't do stuff for other people. You should do it for yourself. Even if you're part of the Hotep community or Pan-African community or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if your people don't appreciate it, do you appreciate what you do for them? Because that's the key factor in that. If you get where I'm coming, if you get where I'm coming from, you don't do it for the recognition. When you do something for a community, you do it for yourself.
See, that's where the wires is crossed. Is like I do it for the team. You feel me? Like,
no, you do it for yourself because that's what you want to do. If I'm doing something for the Black community, it's because it's something that I want to do. I got a second car out there and I fixed it up for my nephew, not because I wanted just to help him out. It's something that I wanted to do for him, whether he wanted it or not, and he did not want it. But I do not regret putting the amount of money in that car that I did for him. Because if I regretted it, that means I didn't do it for myself. I put that amount of money in that car not because of him, but because of me, of who I am as a person. If you're going to help people, it has to be within you. Just like when we tell Black women, you can't turn femininity on and off. It has to be in you. If you are a good person, if you are about your people, it has to come from within. It doesn't come from outside force. It comes from who you are as a person, your essence.
yeah, I think it comes from my own self, and I'm doing it because I want to. What my frustration happens is that when we are collectively taking an L because everybody else not doing their part.
So, where it goes from there? Do you still do it because you know it's the right thing to do?
Well, I think I had come to a conclusion that I scale it down. If the whole community do it, then I scale it down to a group of like-minded, individuals that are willing to do it.
If that's what you want to do. But is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Then I would suggest you probably need to do some more personal thought about it and make sure. Because I think a lot of Black men, they just go out and do stuff just to do it and don't really think about it.
Yeah, I care more about the results than I do about how people view me. Like, so when we talk about Black men and boys, like I want to do it so that more Black boys can be in a situation that they can have happiness in their life. Because that's what I would want somebody to do for me. So I had the opportunity to. That's what my grandfather did for me. So it's like, and it's a way to honor him at the same time too. Like that's what I want to do.
Well, if that's what you want to do, then go do it. No one's not telling you not to. I'm not telling you not to do anything that you not want to do. But the thing is, I want you to do it because that's what you want to do instead of someone telling you that's what you need to be done. There's a difference between those two. Do you understand those two differences?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely do. It's hard for me sometimes to to understand what do I really like. Is what I want coming from some programming of what somebody told me they wanted me to do, or is it what I really wanted? I guess that's the hard part for me to differentiate. What is what I really want and what has been programmed for me to want. And I guess that's what a reflection that you're talking about, the part that it plays.
Yeah. Just like I said, when you have to reflect on who you are, you have to really study yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself. You just can't say like, "Well, I'm this." No, actually go back in your life and figure out like who you are, because there's some parts of me that are not great. There's a lot of things in me that I need to work on. Like I'm lazy as fuck. I'm a lazy ass motherfucker. I know that, and I'm honest with myself about that.
And
you know what? I accept that. That's part of who I am, and that's something that I need to work on. And I'm not going to hide that from nobody. I take ownership of my faults and my strengths, because I figured out who I am as a person. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to go back and like be honest with yourself about who you really are.
Yeah, but
because that's how you can realize yourself as a true man. Sorry, but go ahead, Marquise.
Yeah, I was just saying that, I guess with that, one of my concerns is that I may come to a place to realize that I'm really a dark person, Well,
if you've realized that, then maybe you need to own that. Because I could be really dark if I wanted to. I haven't even thought about putting out some dark ass Black Pill videos. If I really want to be dark about it. Charles partner not as dark as your black ass. What's up, Meech?
What's going on with you?
Not much, man.
I hear you. Ain't nothing wrong with having a dark side. We all have one, man. In fact, that's typically what makes us interesting. You just gotta know how to harness it. You know what I mean?
Charles,
know how to harness it and how to keep it under control.
Charles, my teeth ain't black. Maybe my gums, but not my blue teeth.
He calling you a meth head, goddamn.
But what do you want, Meech? What do you want?
Man, man, it's real simple when it comes to me, man. Autonomy, and everything that encompasses autonomy, right? That means that the ability, not just on paper, but functionally, to deal with any impedances to me having my autonomy, right? That means making and really those are the two things, because everything else goes around that, right? Being able to make your own decisions without having to talk to somebody about why they need to shut the fuck up when you're making decisions that aren't directly related to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that is around impedance. So really it's autonomy and the ability to handle somebody with the same vigor, right, and methods as anybody else in society, including those of, you know, that are in a higher social place than us, right? The greater placed society, right? And if we have that, hey man, that's really all you can fucking ask for, to tell you the truth, is opportunity. All that comes down to is equal opportunity. Equal opportunity is everything. If you have that, there's no complaints. You ain't got anything to complain about, right? All what I want is equal opportunity, man. Functionally too, not just in a letter of law that's some bullshit. They blow up your ass and say, hey, look, we wrote this here. But then when you go out there and look around, you see that it's not being applied the same. Equal opportunity means that that law, those policies are applied the same as well. That's really all you can fucking ask for. And dude, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Look, I like this topic you got. Dudes are really gonna have to fucking think this kind of shit out, because the shit, it ain't about the shit storm coming. The shit storm is here already, right? I'm back in my hometown where I was born and raised, and I'm only stopping here for the night because I had to drop over here in a neighboring city, and I was driving from the west side of town, and there's just a white lady sitting on the ground on the sidewalk on the little parking block from like the little shopping center right there, and she's just sitting there. She's just sitting there. She's not going anywhere. Like, that's where she's gonna sit until she figures out, I guess, what she's gonna do for the night. You know what I mean? And I know that look, because before I came into the military, I had a bout of homelessness too, and I've had that look. I've had that sitting out there. Where the hell am I gonna go look cold as shit when I was a teenager, right? So, I mean, men, look, and if any women, especially white women, are feeling that pinch in this country, you best believe, because white women are as far away from black men as you can get in this country, right? So as far as being taken care of, so if she can be in that situation, you can best believe it may have not made it to you yet, right? Expressly, but if they can, they will absolutely tilt that goddamn board and roll that shit downhill another damn direction. Hey, figure out what it is you want, figure out how to get it, and then get to work.
Charles, Faulkner the Conqueror.
One, let's get to business. One, I like my complexion. It's even, unlike your scaly, patchy reptilian skin. And yes, your teeth and gums are black, and then the rest of the teeth are just missing. But anyway, I heard about the darkness. A lot of people claim that they have a dark personality, and they really don't. It's just partly cloudy. You haven't touched it. How old are you, man?
31.
Let me put it to you this way. It gets real dark. If you truly were into darkness, nobody would even hear about your darkness.
Nope.
You'd be on some Jeffrey Dahmer shit. That level of darkness.
I don't talk about my thoughts, because a lot of people will be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
And that's when you know you got a dark side.
I know that I got a dark side. Sometimes I tell people my darkness. I said, really? I said, I look at people sometimes, and people be like, well, you're like, how dark are you? I'm thinking about 3 different ways I could put you down. And that's just with bare hands. And I'm just like,
hey, he's not even using his breath. Remember that.
Or your farts. Well, then again, your breath. We look forward to your fucking farts with your stinging ass shit. Oh man, aren't you an extra in fucking Game of Thrones with some wings on your back, nigga? But anyway,
this guy. But Charles, as far as the questions of the panel is concerned, what do you want?
I want my son to be better than me. I want peace, tranquility. I want enough money to be comfortable. If I choose to be in another relationship or married, I choose to be with a woman who's an asset and not a liability. We'll learn to love each other later. Or if you do love me, you have to prove it. I want to always remind myself of being the bad motherfucker that I am. What I want is respect. You don't have to like me, but you have to respect me. And we'll get along fine. I want to train. I want to enjoy life. I want to get a stack of comic books each fucking month. I want to play every fucking video game that I like to do. I like the simple shit. See, a lot of guys put themselves out there saying, oh, well, I want to do this, because you're too busy trying to look out into the world and be something for someone else. I want to look in the mirror, and every time I see myself in the mirror, and just be happy. Just be proud. Like, nobody can do what you do. Though I may be one of many, but I will forever remain unique. That type of happiness.
All right, respect. I mean, so in your lifetime, has anyone ever asked you two gentlemen? Because I think I already started as my kid. Has anybody ever really asked you, like really seriously asked you, without any judgment, about what it is that you want
Out of life?
Yeah.
Nope. I can't say so. Can't say anybody ever asked me what I want. Now, there might have been, like a college instructor or something like that was asking people these general questions. But, a romantic relationship, no. They never said no.
Or even family.
Nope. Family either.
Charles?
Of course people ask. Of course. Most people want you to be within their little confines of what they think you might want.
Well, have they asked you, or have they suggested to you what you should want?
Both.
I guess it's
both.
Okay.
It's
okay.
like, it's
so
like,
you
for
think
instance,
they were asking just to make sure it was what they wanted you to want, is what you mean? They weren't asking out of your concern.
People ask because of just pure, simple curiosity.
Okay.
I've noticed that because I'm a rather quiet guy most times. So
what?
I'm not a braggadocious. I'm a rather quiet guy once you get to know me. I don't tell too much of my life. No, really, I don't. Even on here, most people don't know too much about me. Unless I share it.
I know you like cheap liquor.
No, I like the expensive liquor.
When you're being quiet, are you hitting them with the mean grill or something like that? So like a shut the fuck up, don't say nothing stupid look?
No, because they're not a bother. Like, I'm so into me and what I'm thinking, and within my realm, I don't really give a shit about what everybody else thinks. And that's a skill that a lot of black men do not have. Because admittedly, a lot of black men have self-esteem issues. You're in a gynocracy. People may make fun of a gynocracy in some circles, but it does exist. If it wasn't a gynocracy, why is it that your boys are severely underachieving?
Mm-hmm.
So if you cannot give me, if you cannot, these are smart people trying to debate me on this shit, and I'm like, so you can prove that, we have nothing else to talk about.
Right.
And when you think about it, most guys don't want shit to do for themselves. A lot of guys want to make money to please their family. Yep. Oh, I got a family. I got to do this. What the fuck do you got to do? What are your
Whatever
desires?
he was commanded to do.
What are your desires, black man?
Whatever you like.
Why can't we rub the genie and get our 3 wishes like everybody else?
Exactly.
Because that's not for us.
Yeah, fuck that.
In fact, we are the genie. We are the genie. We grant wishes. That's what we're here for. And when we're done, jump back in the fucking bottle.
Guess what? I grant my own wishes.
There you go.
That's what black men need to start doing. They need to grant their own wishes. Stop trying to appease everybody else and just appease your damn self.
You know what's wild, man? Let me tell you, especially when you're talking about, I'm sure the boomers, but Gen X, you know, I have firsthand experience with, right? Especially when you're talking about the stepfather thing, is I left with this fucking tag. Not only were we out there doing our damnness to grant wishes, but motherfuckers wouldn't even, and I'm talking about in general for the most part, right? There's always twos and fews, wouldn't even be willing to assist you in just one part of a wish you have. Yet we'll go out there, dude, and try to fix every problem motherfuckers might have and shit, dude. Even if it ain't, you know, physical labor, money, it's hours worth of fucking advice that motherfuckers never took heed to. Like when you really think back, like resources is more than just money. All your faculties are resources, right? In fact, out of all your resources, money really is the least valuable because you can always make money back. You can't get time back, right? You can't get energy back, right? You can't undo frustration, right? Because even that's burning energy. That's a resource, right? Focus. You can't get that stuff back. And we gave it away freely because this is what we were raised to believe would be the thing that would heal the black community, fix the black community, right? We took that on our shoulders. We took it as our burden, right? So work harder. Because let me tell you something about Gen Xers. When we were young, that alpha your way through it, we really believed that shit, bro. I know I did.
I believe.
Hey, man up and alpha your way through it. And then when you get older, you're like, these motherfuckers played me for a fucking fool. You know what I mean? They were. I gotta applaud them. I gotta applaud them on that shit, nigga. That is some goddamn evil genius kind of shit right there, nigga. So when I look back at all these, and I'm like, I look around, and I'm like, they played not me, they played us for a fucking fool. Hey man, it is what it is, man. Get you some focus, get you some enjoyment in your life, man. And you know, I will say here's one thing I think black men should certainly do. Even when it's uncomfortable, delve research into the shit that you don't like as well, because that's gonna help you to be aware of the world around you. A lot of people, they like to just focus on the shit they do like, the shit that gives them the warm and fuzzy, right? And I think a lot of times that's why people come onto the panels, especially back in the Coliseum days, and they get the fuck out of there. They're like, hey man, this is gonna be uncomfortable. I've heard some uncomfortable shit in the damn Coliseum before. Motherfuckers say something like, I'm like, God damn, bro, for real? You know what I mean? And well, if I sit back, it's almost like you ever watch a fucking terrible TV series or a terrible movie that you kept hearing about, and you got to come back, watch 5 minutes, and then put it away, come back, watch another 5 minutes until eventually you can make it all the way through that. Napoleon Dynamite was like that for me. And I like silly comedy and shit. But that movie was, even for me, that movie was just too much. It took me about 4 or 5 times to make it through that fucking movie. You know what I mean? It really did, dude. Especially when he started dancing. It took me about 4 or 5 times to make it through that damn movie, dude. But that's what we got to do with the shit that's uncomfortable. The shit that's there anyway, we got to understand that's just the way it is.
Well, see,
I mean,
but that's the whole thing, Meech, man. It's like, what's the most uncomfortable to a black man is to think about himself. We can
Yeah.
spout out the community or black women or doing stuff with other people, but when it comes to us, it's like we stop breaks. We gotta like what myself? What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, when you just heard it just a couple of minutes ago, or just a
Yeah.
couple of an hour ago. Like
Yeah.
it's
They got
like
it jumped off. Yeah.
God jumped off. I mean, look, we as men need to start thinking about ourselves. We really do.
Yeah.
We're always here for other people, but we're never here for ourselves. Whether it's taking time out to make sure that we're doing the right thing, analyzing what we're doing, anything like that. It's just that we're doing everything what everybody else wants us to do, but we're never here to think about what we need to do for ourselves and what our situation is. Like I said, if you're always doing something for someone else, you're never going to find happiness in that because it's not what you want to do. If it's in you to save the community as a whole, then you should do it regardless of if you get credit for it or not.
Yep.
Because there's plenty of people that have not gotten credit for the things they've done and have died happy knowing that they did the things they did because that's what made them happy. Some people did get credit. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., a whole lot of people some people got credit. But guess what? There's a whole lot of people that did not get credit. And guess what? They died happy knowing that they contribute something. That's how you know they did it for themselves. If you're doing it for someone else, you're trying to get recognition for that person. Not from yourself, but for that person. And that's where the problem lies. Because you're not doing it for recognition for yourself. You're not saying I did that. You're saying like, oh, this person praised me. It's like a little kid trying to get praise from his dad, because he did something, not because he wanted to, because he thought that his dad would approve of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's what that shit is.
Agreed.
I'm not here to get praise from nobody else. I'm here to praise myself. If someone else wants to praise me, good. Appreciative. I am appreciative of that. Don't get it twisted. I am appreciative of people that do praise me for the things that I do. But guess what? At the end of the day, it's about me and how I feel about myself, about the things that I do in my fucking life. I do the things in my fucking life because that's what I want to do. It's not because of anybody else told me that what I needed to do. It's about me first.
Yeah. For most of us though, we have to go through some shit before we realize that's the way it should be in the first fucking place.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? We had to go through some shit and see that, and really like all this fucking work I put in, and it was myself that I was I wasn't putting enough deep, meaningful energy into myself. At least not as much as other people. You know what I mean? And so, what I will say about the younger generation is that even though because of they were raised different, social media, the relationships with women and all this shit, even though there was a hell of a lesson to deal with the shit firsthand when you got to go get a girl number because most people ain't got a cell phone and social media dating ain't a thing and she ain't sending you to her fucking gram, you getting a number and calling and all that shit, right? I will say that at least they have us here to put out the information so that they can avoid some of these damn pitfalls, right? So if you're not going to get the hands-on training to deal with the bullshit, then the next best thing you can get are warnings of what the bullshit is, right? And clarification on what the picture is that you're looking at. See, here's another thing too. When we were coming up, is that we would see something, but we didn't interpret the picture completely. we looked at a certain thing. We look at that picture and say, "Oh, that's a picture of a fucking of a house," right? But it wasn't until you get life experience, and some of us had people that come there and try to interpret it for us. I wasn't one of those people who had people trying to interpret for me, but would have somebody to come there and say, "Okay, you're looking at that's a house, and all you see is a house, but look closer and check out all these different things that are going on there." Right? So don't just look at it as a house. Look at what comprises this house and this fence and this yard and everything else around there, and see whether or not look for the good things in this house and the flaws in this house. It's going to help you a whole hell of a lot, right? And so at least these young cats, at least they have their information is more available to them as to how to interpret what they hear and what they see, so that they can best avoid pitfalls.
Right. AB, you got get back up here. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, just want to say I agree with Meech. What Meech is talking about. Yeah. Damn, I have a brain fart.
That's all good.
Happens to the
Marquise
best of us.
Kid, you ain't said that in a while. You wanted to say something?
No, I'm over here having a paradigm shift, man. I'm still digesting over here.
Paradigm shift about what?
Just this mentality, and reflecting on like how that would affect me going forward if I moved that way.
How would you think it would affect you?
It would probably change a lot. It would change a lot. I mean, I can't even. I mean, just hypothetically, if I'm thinking of it, I could possibly be in a completely different situation in a completely different place.
Because you're thinking about yourself first and not other people.
Yeah.
Would
Like,
would it be for the better or the worse that you think so far?
For myself.
Yeah. Would you be in a better position? Would you be in a better position if you thought about yourself than what other people?
Of course. I think automatically. It's automatic.
There you go.
But at the same time, it's just fighting with, I don't know, my morals at the same time that I've been programmed with.
Well, the thing about morals is they can always be reconsidered.
Yep, they can always change.
Yes, sir.
And the one thing, there's a guy who was talking. I was listening to watching the health video before, right? I think the guy was talking about squats, right? Working out, and he said the body part that you hate working out the most is the one that you need to work out the most. The reason you hate it is because it's so underdeveloped relative to the rest of your body. And so if you compare that to, the changing of how you live, putting yourself first, anything else, it's because that's likely the one that you need to look into and study the most, because it's like an underworked muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be kind of scary. I'll be honest with you. You're going to look back sometimes, you're going to feel foolish. That's fine. It's better to feel foolish about the past than to continue to be foolish into the future. Right?
Agreed.
You'll get over that, and not to mention, the better you move in the future, the less bad you'll feel about the past. Right? So, just and here's another secret. I've been saying this shit since the Coliseum. Some shit it's better to keep it to yourself. Black men need to learn to have secrets, man. We need to learn to have secrets. When you're working on yourself, keep it to yourself. Because if you think you got haters now, tell them you're trying to self-improve. And then, because they're already going to see your self-improvement when you start undergoing changes. But if you inform them that you're trying to work on it, I promise you, haters, people that you never imagined would be a hater. Will be even some people that are doing better than you.
Look in the family first,
haters.
too.
Yep.
They'll be your family members first, too.
It is what it is. Your family members, your closest, your longest standing friends. You're gonna find out who the haters are.
Yep.
Mhm.
So when you do it, keep quiet, focus on it. And here's the thing: you'll know here's a surefire way for you to know you've been making improvements. Right? Is when people start commenting on stuff about you that you don't even bring up. You've never said it to them. You don't even think about it, and they'll just start talking about it. Right? Hey, let's go back to the workout example. Right? You know how you can tell when you're making an improvement in the gym when people start commenting on your muscles. You may not even say anything. People just start making some of it as little passive aggressive remarks. Well, a lot of it will be passive aggressive remarks, right? But you just kind of blow it off. You know what I mean? I'm drinking more water, or hey, I read more books now, and I just got interested in the reading, or whatever it is to throw them off the scent. Because frankly, if they're not assisting you along the journey, it's none of their fucking business anyway.
Agreed.
You know? So hey man, look, it feels good to focus on yourself, dude. It really damn does, man. I just taught one of my buddies called me about a week and a half ago about a living arrangement and possibly moving in with this broad dude. And I told him, man, I was like, man, you gotta have your own place. Because the focus you'll be able to have on yourself, and he got a kid with her and shit, right? And so, you know, I was like, look, it ain't, she was talking about she's gonna take him off, she'll take him off of child support and shit. I was like, man, look, that little $600 a month right there ain't shit. I was like, and she could be lying any goddamn way. I was like,
Yeah.
but if you move in there, she got you. I was like, you ain't got no peace of mind. You'd be more than willing to pay more than $600 to get rid of that bitch, right? So have your own place. You can focus. You know what I mean? You're a creative dude. You like to work hard. So you do your thing. Focus on yourself, man. Move it so you can have your own place. You ain't got to worry about no fucking headaches or nothing like that. It's only $7,200 a damn year, man. $7,200 a year does not keep pace with your potential. And he does. He has a lot of potential, right? So it's worth it, dude. It's worth it, man.
Yeah.
Charles, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I just want to make sure you put down that pharmaceutical grade lotion that you got.
Oh gosh, here we go.
I just wish you could put the. Don't worry, I don't disturb you when you put up penises towards your mouth, making extra money. You know what I mean?
Oh damn.
I don't come over knocking the dicks out of your mouth at work, okay?
Oh.
At work, god damn.
Nah, you know what happened last night? Some guy tried to break into my car.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
He looked inside your car and he was like, "Damn, he broke. Let me put something in it."
God damn.
Because I came out because it was about my lunchtime, and I came outside, and it was a white dude too in a black neighborhood of all things, and
ain't looking for cousins, looking for drugs.
He came in my car, and I scared him because I asked him like, "What are you doing by my car?" He's like, "Oh man, I just came down here. I took an Uber down here, and I don't know where I'm at." And I'm like, "Okay, well your ass need to go." And yeah, like he was going to sit like right there with my building. I said, "Nope, your ass need to go down the street."
Archie,
wait.
you were nice.
He caught an Uber to a place that he doesn't know anything about.
Really?
You have to set that shit up. So when he got in his Maps application, what did he type in? Middle of nowhere?
Pretty much.
Man, I don't give a fuck where he came from. He needed to go, and that's where he went. He went somewhere else.
Hey Art, you were nice to him. I would have pulled a knife on him, like, what you doing? What you doing trying to get in my car?
I had my knife out.
Oh, never mind.
I got one.
I would have put it to his throat, like, what you trying to do in my car?
I got one of them damn 6-inch knives.
He had his butter knife out.
I had a 6. I always keep a 6-inch knife on me because I can't keep a gun at the warehouse.
I keep a blade on my damn vest, dude. Sometimes I forget it's even there. But check this out. So Cameron, right? Linda Cameron. He said, I can't remember what city he said it was in. I want to say it was somewhere in northern Cali, like San Francisco, some shit like that, or Sacramento. He said his people are leaving their doors unlocked with signs on their car saying, "Hey, the car's empty. There's nothing still out of here. because people have been going around. You know, he's saying, hey, the Great Reset is coming. People are struggling. Crime is going up. They're breaking into people's cars, man. Breaking windows. You know those windows are fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh
Breaking
yes,
into
Lord.
cars and not
I've
getting
had to
anything
replace
out
a
of it.
couple.
Dude.
Nah, see, Rocky, fuck a taser. All right, I truly believe this as a personal belief of mine. If I get into confrontation with you that's physical, I'm gonna leave a mark to where you're gonna remember me for the rest of your life.
Agreed.
He's gonna bite you.
Well, that's
Look,
better
I don't
than
know
you.
who he was, but I bet a nigga.
Hey, well, that's better than you fucking somebody.
But yet, but she trusts me. At least I'm doing the fucking. You're the one getting fucked. So
Hey,
hey,
I wasn't
Whoa,
I
whoa,
wasn't
whoa.
even
Art,
gonna
would I
go there,
suggest
bro.
you get a bolo
Hey,
instead?
hey, check this out.
I got a knife.
So I watched
and
one of the
a
series I
had a mean
watched
fart.
was what's the joint, man? Snowfall, right? Any of y'all watch that?
What is it? What
The
streaming
series
services
about
that come on?
the series about Freeway Rick Ross. It's had
No,
4
I haven't
seasons
seen that.
already. Dude, it's a part in that fucking joint, man. Spoiler alert. Where okay, so young Freeway Rick got robbed, right? Got beat up and robbed. So he called, he go get one of his boys, like, go get their money back. This is when he first starting off, right? So he goes and goes to, to one of the enforcers in the neighborhood to see if he gets some help. One of the dudes there volunteered. This dude was crazy as fuck. So he went there with them, right? And he basically took over the whole goddamn interrogation, trying to find out where the money is from this dude. This dude getting his ass whooped in the chair, with back getting hit in the chest and ribs and fucking the shin. And for whatever reason, he won't give up the money and shit, right? Punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
He won't tell where the fuck the money is. This crazy dude they went and got, drugged this motherfucker into the room. Nigga, they can't, all you hear, he got his mouth. They came out, that motherfucker was bent over the bed, man. The dude walked out zipping up the pants. They looked in there, the dude was bent over the bed and just all of the manhood. He fucked the manhood out of this dude. He couldn't even move. He couldn't even move.
Stop talking about Charles' partner personal life like that, man.
Oh, shit.
like
But
all I'm
but
saying is,
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Keep it my manhood. You losing yours. That's my life, huh? Man,
You know what, Meech?
You know what he does? He smuggles brioche out of his ass, like in prison when you look for
Oh my
drugs.
God! You ain't shit for that, Charles.
Hey, yo, Meech.
The reason I told that story is because of what Art said, right?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes, man, whatever you finna do that's fucked up, remember this: somebody might fuck you in the ass, bro. Is it worth the
Oh
risk?
boy!
And
You know what, Meech?
especially when it's art.
I just want to say this real quick, and I'll let you get in. Name.
Thank you.
Otis. My job has got hit in the warehouses in my area got hit twice because there was a group of people stealing catalytic converters out of these trucks. They would go in at the middle of the night and steal all the catalytic converters out of these damn trucks. They did it twice to a one warehouse this year.
Catalytic converters?
Yes.
What are that? What is that?
They go underneath your truck to help emissions.
Catalytic converters. They're the things that make your shit go. That actually turns your car on and it goes on.
Well, it's to help with the emission. You can turn the car on, but it'll be loud as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Meech, when you brought up the...
I had to get one replaced. I had to get one replaced once. So yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Namer.
Thank you.
Tailpipe.
You know what, Meech? I remember, if you go back to 03, the opening track to Nas's album Godson called Get Down.
Yep.
He starts off the verse by... You remember the second verse? It starts off with him mentioning, some niggas fuck the enemies in the ass when they catch them. Weird ass dudes, so don't try to test them.
Yeah. He said weird ass dude, but dangerous, so don't test them. They can make you disappear, that you won't forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, like, nigga, really think about that. Go back to that dark place, right? Think about now. I was okay. let me put it this way. I'm not gonna do that to nobody, right? But here's what I would say. If a motherfucker really is my true enemy, if it did happen to him, I'm not gonna help him. I mean, hey, bro, that's kind of what you get, ain't it? Right? I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah,
That's
just
like,
like I gotta tell you, it's just a pain in the ass.
oh, this nigga Charles.
Oh, by the way, Art, when I said
This nigga Charles.
by the way, Art, when I said a bolo, BOLO, that's not something to mess with. That's a machete that they use in the Philippines, especially like in Cali or Eskrima. It's a weapon.
It's American, dude. Nobody's gonna.
Yeah, I knew you were talking. I knew you were talking about a knife. I didn't know it was a machete, but
Yeah.
okay.
I
It was a
mean,
machete,
yeah,
you know.
I know both
Okay.
the bolo, the whip, and the machete, but I don't think it's company policy to bring machetes to work.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know, if this was Malaysia, Indonesia, you could never tell if I just have my fist, because then I could have like what they call a karambit, that little curved knife that you can conceal. I can just,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just have a clenched fist, but I could be slashing you in the eye, get you in the throat, get in your gut. Sea-Lot, they don't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't fuck around.
If my boss ever came in just to do some late night paperwork, you saw me with a machete, he'd be looking at me weird. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a karambit would be a good weapon instead. It's small, curved knife, curved blade, easily to conceal.
I got me a little foldable long knife. So like if I stab you, it's gonna punch or something.
I also have
I'm
a
pretty sure.
small throwing axe. You know what I mean? That I keep here on
A hatchet.
in passenger seat. No, the throwing axes.
This nigga
Okay.
go, this
The
nigga
smaller.
go, this nigga go down the highways with a tomahawk.
There you go. Hey Charles,
There he goes.
check this out. I know things vary from state to state, right? In this same video, Lyndon was talking about. He was talking about make sure that you can that you have your home well mapped and that you have your house is secure. You might want to replace your doors if they're flimsy and everything, right? But he said this. He said that if someone's trying to break into his home, he would not be able to shoot through the door to stop them. He would have to let them enter his home first before he could shoot them. Now,
Yeah.
is that that's no kidding. So you're telling me if I was at your door now, is that unarmed or armed? Like if I'm at your door with a sledgehammer.
That doesn't
That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Once they enter your house, you have a right to kill them.
Okay, hold on.
I'm talking about
Here,
before
let
though.
the guy who did this for a while do it.
Okay.
One, you gotta remember, with inside your home, you're safe. That's the reason why it's a castle doctrine is because one, that's your last refuge. You have nowhere else you can run for safety.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the guy coming at your door doing all kinds of crazy shit. Now, once he breaks the threshold, i.e., opens the door, if the door's open and he's not given permission and walks through it, yes, he's fair game. But once he turns his back, he's not.
Okay.
He can damage the door.
So here's the
He
question.
can damage the door.
Here's the question, man. How does that work? And I don't know if they have it up there in Baltimore, but how would that work if there's also a such thing as stand your ground?
Stand your ground is such an iffy shit. Stand your ground is that, oh, you can stay there and fight if somebody accosts you, attacks you. But stand your ground in the castle doctrine is different because really in your house, you don't have to flee because this your only refuge. This is your last refuge. Stand your ground for most places with that law is that a person's attacking you, which it's supposed to be a person's attacking you, that you can administer force back to them. You don't have like in Maryland, and most times in Maryland, you have a duty to retreat.
Right. Okay.
Because staying your ground is supposed to, you don't have to retreat if you don't want to.
Okay, so let's say I'm watering my lawn. I'm out on my front lawn, right? And a guy is walking. Let's say he has a sledgehammer. He is coming towards me. He's being aggressive, yelling and everything, right? would I then have to retreat, make every effort to retreat back to my place of refuge, which is inside my house,
Yeah.
and not? So if he stepped onto the sidewalk into my grass, I couldn't
If
shoot him.
he steps onto the grass, threatening you with a hammer, yeah, exigent circumstances take over, meaning you have to defend your life and your safety. But if he's outside your property and he's yelling and all this shit, I would just walk in my house, call the police, have my gun loaded already in case he tries to come in. I could deal with it. You're not supposed to go Kyle Rittenhouse looking for danger.
Make every effort, basically.
Yeah, make every effort, to try to get away from the guy if you're outside, because distance, you always have time with distance.
Yeah.
You don't want to just say, hey, this guy's on my property, let me try to aggravate him some more. No. Because what if he has a sledgehammer and more?
Or it could be like in some situations, he could be trying to goad you to come out, setting you up for a beatdown, or it could be multiple people. Like say, he could be outside your front lawn, trying to get your attention, just so his partners could come into the back or some shit like that,
Uh-huh.
So it's best so you gotta make sure you have all bases covered, and plus, sometimes it's good to have like security cameras hidden that show you where everybody's at.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Does
always
the castle doctrine apply to? Does the castle doctrine apply to personal property? No. Can you protect? You can't shoot over. How many times I keep telling people this shit? Where these
Who said anything about shooting, Charles?
It doesn't apply to personal property. What do you mean by that?
In other words, when the castle doctrine is dependent on physical safety.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like I told the dumbasses on many other panels. No, you can't shoot over property. So if somebody comes in your house,
I've never heard that before.
You can't shoot over property.
Okay, so
that makes sense.
And I know it may be a lawyer question. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure you've worked around a lot of lawyers before. So there's a story. I've never seen the actual article, but I've heard a lot of people say, and they've talked about stories where somebody was trying to break into somebody's home, right, and fell through a skylight, and because they injured themselves when they fell through the skylight, they were able to sue that person who owned the home that they were trying to break into and won.
I don't know about that. I don't know about winning, but you can sue for about anything, but I don't know about winning.
Excuse me, Meech?
Yeah.
Is it an actual case? Because this sounds like a case I remember from a movie.
Well, I've heard about different cases, like alternate different cases, but they had that same concept that, hey, you can be sued. Basically, if somebody injures themselves on or in your property, even if they're doing
they tried to break in,
and they're not supposed to be there, that you can be sued if they harm themselves.
No, they could try it, but you're just admitting to having a crime. So
right.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think that's kosher, but
well, if you haven't heard of it, anything, likely is.
You can sue for anything, but most likely you're not going to win. If anything, they're going to be like, well, you put yourself in that predicament. It wasn't like you coming over somebody's house and then they forgot to shovel the snow or the ice on their property and you slip and fell and you sue them. No, it's not that. Like, I'm going to admit that I'm in the commission of a crime, playing fiddler on the roof and coming up.
Hold on. Excuse me. Art, could you show Otis's latest post on the chat for a minute?
Hey, nobody came to see you, Otis.
Liar.
Yeah.
Nobody came to see you, Otis.
That's the movie I was talking about. That's what I thought. So, Otis, thank you.
Okay, a movie, but a real life situation is completely different.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody came to see you, Otis.
It sounded like it came from
Otis. You know how fucked up that is to say to somebody, man, to throw them. Ain't nobody come see you, Otis. Like, nigga, hey, man, I'm part of this band too. Fuck wrong. That's fucked up to do to somebody, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it is true, even if don't do this to you, boy.
And just let you guys know, Life is on Netflix, and it will be gone from Netflix by the end of the month. So make sure you watch it.
Where y'all at? Maybe I don't have it here.
Well, too bad for you.
That sucks.
I'm all right.
Damn, that
I realize that if unless you have like a VPN, you cannot switch regions on Netflix or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jingling. Do you want your cornbread?
You want your cornbread? Oh, I gotta watch that.
I'm from New York City. There's some and consequence. What do you say? Consequences and repercussions.
Repercussions and consequences.
Yeah,
And if you remember in the outtakes, if you remember the outtakes, that somebody asked, what that means by repercussions, and Nunez was like, "Oh no," and everybody laughed their asses off and shit. If you checked out the bloopers.
No, my favorite line is, "I'm the pappy."
I'm the pappy.
I'm that pappy. And then Miguel Nunez comes out, "I'm that pappy." Everybody laughed their ass off and shit.
Hey, Bernie Mac was a funny motherfucker, boy.
Hey, I was in the theater. You should have saw the look on everybody's faces when they raised that paper up. They was black. They were like, "Oh shit."
Oh yeah.
Bring every nigger out here. I was like, "Uh-oh."
You know, I remember the one who knocked out.
Oh, absolutely, and they did it, even if it was by force. Like, can't get right was a goddamn victim.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Meech.
What up?
If you remember the one who was daring, who was gonna whoop Eddie Murphy's ass for the cornbread.
Yeah.
I remember the first movie I ever saw him. Bad Boys. He was in Bad Boys, remember?
I bet you a big Popeye's chicken eating motherfucker.
Chicken eating motherfucker. And then I also remember him and Fives on Love together in The Replacements. You know, remember that Keanu Reeves football movie?
You know, I don't think I ever saw that whole movie.
I've seen that movie. I remember that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because like
that was a
remember
good
the original
movie.
team were roughing up, and then Faison and that dude showed up and fucked up the quarterback's car. And when he called Faison SOB, he said, "So, you call me?" Oh, okay.
What?
Then he just put 2 more bullets.
Hey, Charles. You know, I'll be seeing.
God rest his soul.
Like, I'll be seeing
he passed away from us then.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Truck drivers and shit, man. You know how it is when you a dude. You sizing motherfuckers up right every time you walk into a room and shit, right? Man, I don't see some motherfuckers. I be telling my boy, like, I don't see motherfuckers out here that were about 6'5", 350, 375, man. I walk to these places, I make sure I place myself strategically, because you just never know. I'm like, I don't feel like fighting no motherfucker that outweigh me by no 150 pounds, man. I don't feel like dealing with that shit. And not some giant sloppy motherfucker, some fucking center lineman looking motherfucker. Like,
some big burly Brock Lesnar looking bastards.
Just some big motherfuckers. Like, they look like Brock Lesnar if he was, if he was retiring, working out once in a while, and because Brock Lesnar, he's 275.
Hell, he almost look like that now.
But Brock Lesnar is probably, if he was just, working out twice.
He's 280, 290 actually.
He probably 340, 350 if he stopped working out and shit, right? Just a motherfucker like that. It's like, man, especially with everything going on, how crazy motherfuckers have been in the last 3-4 years, let me make sure I position myself away from this motherfucker. Let me watch these
good
motherfuckers
move
right here, man. Because some motherfuckers are big. Like I'm 6'2", 260 now, man. But it's some motherfuckers walking around that really disrespect your 6'2" and your 260. They disrespect both them motherfuckers.
That's called Charles Father's dumps.
Shit.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to tell you a secret. RuPaul said Art of IBMOR have no walls.
Damn. That's fucked up.
Oh, damn.
And Lizzo says you got a warm ass.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of
that was a good comeback.
And Lizzo said to you that you dealing with popcorn strip.
Oh, that's fucked up too. Speaking of 350 though, hey man, your girl Lizzo, right? Like, a lot of these.
You can't talk about Lizzo. Her and Art are about to get married next year, man. He's about to.
Simone Sanders is your wrestling partner.
Oh God.
Okay.
Well, at
okay.
least
so
I'd
we-
rather spar with her. I'd rather spar with her manly ass than to marry that other manly looking bitch. We already know that you like her because you looked at her leg one time and you saw her naked and she looked like some fresh brioche.
Okay, so I got a
She
question.
looked
Sure
all
wasn't turkey neck.
She
I got a
said
question.
she
Right.
looked all buttery.
Hey,
She
look,
said she looked all buttery.
Simone Sanders, Lizzo, or what's the politics bitch? Name start not Bria Mouse. Nah, I'm not gonna throw that in there for you. Like,
Nah,
See,
Bria
I tried
Mouse.
to-
No,
no.
Bria. Come on, Charles. Bria Mouse
What's
should
your
be
girl-
mentioned in the
what's your-
same question.
What's your
Same
girl
sentence.
initials are CC, the political bitch. Always talking shit, short hair.
Oh, you talking about Brittany Cooper?
Brittany Cooper. Between those
no.
three. Well, put it this way.
Hey, Charles, isn't that the name of your sleeve?
Don't you got Brittany Cooper's nickname tattooed on your ass?
Oh my God!
You got Brittany Cooper's milk in your refrigerator?
Oh,
better.
Didn't she give you a striptease saying me so
Oh,
hard?
God, the horror! Oh, gosh, I don't think it should be mentioned in the same sentence. Oh, the horror!
Hold a second. Oh, AB, stand by for a minute. I got a suggestion. If y'all gonna be going back and forth, can y'all at least have one of y'all sound like Sam Kinison and the other be Andrew Dice Clay?
He said,
Well, you got
and Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, the horror! Okay.
Oh my God!
A lot of people forgot that's what y'all remind me of for some reason.
You know what
Clay
happened, right?
and Kinison.
But you know what happened? I was not going to tell this story, but this motherfucker made me.
Uh-oh.
You know what really happened? Him and Brittany Cooper had a one night stand, right? And the fucked up part about it was not them sleeping with each other. They made a mistake and put on the other's bra.
Oh, God.
Charles Schwab is the only man I know that plays tetherball with Brittany Cooper's butt cheeks.
Well, then again.
Oh my gosh!
Well, then again, you the one who plays the flute with Lizzo's ass.
Oh my God!
Boy, I tell you, man, look, between Brittany Cooper, Simone Sanders, and fucking Lizzo, nigga, you got
that's 20 tons right there. What you talk? Oh,
you got the starting offensive line right there, nigga.
You know, you
What
got
is that
3
about?
tons of fun.
17 sacks a game.
3 tons of fun.
3 tons of fun, nigga. Unless you under it.
Oh, God damn.
That's a defensive line, right? That's a defensive line we're talking here, right?
That's shit offensive. You know.
If you're going offense, I guess then you're going to also need like what? You're going to need like what's the name? What's the name? That Philly chick, Loudmouth. Who got a name now? Jill Scott. And then you're going to have Angie Stone as the offensive guards.
Hey, and they dual sport. They discus and shot put.
And butch. Actually, tri-sports. They're football, discus, and butch. 3 sports.
And butch.
And hammer throw.
Make it quadruple then, because the tractor pull too, nigga.
Oh God.
They look like all them ugly bitches look like they specialize in wearing flannel.
Well, shit, that's up your alley, Charles.
Flannel game.
Well, that's up here. Well, guess what? Brittany Cooper and Lizzo taking turns on you. You know, they passing you around like a goddamn blunt. It's not my fault.
You know what, Meech? What'd you say about flannel again? What'd you say about flannel?
That's flannel gang right there, man.
Look,
don't get me started on flannel, because I've seen too many motherfuckers with flannel around here for the past few years.
Look, see, don't let me expose Charles for what he likes to do with Brittany Cooper. He fucks her in the ass and then kisses her in the mouth and uses her as a
Don't let me expose what you do with Lizzo. You just put it in any crevice and you said it's wet anyway.
Oh,
hey, but here's the question though, Charles. What do you think, Charles? What do you think they double back bicep pose like though.
Oh my god, man! If there's a strong wind in there, them flaps are gonna slap the shit out of people. Like
They'll
it's gonna
fold
look
around
like,
the front like a jacket.
yo, that shit gonna look like Dumbo's ears.
Damn.
It's gonna be like Batman's cape and shit in the comics, flowing.
God, boy. I tell you, man.
I bet you she got waist trainers. I bet you she take down her
and all of them
titty.
working out.
Oh my god!
All
I
of
bet
them
you when she
worn
take
out,
her waist shaper off, that bitch fucking come off like.
And apparently Simone Sanders just got married, and I keep thinking to myself, what sip is she sitting on?
To a married to a woman?
I don't know. I think to a guy.
No
Hey, so
guy thinks that attractive.
Hey,
do you really want to go to a middle linebacker? Yeah.
Hey, if KRS2 can get married, anybody can get married.
God, that motherfucker right there.
Did she even get married?
Yeah.
I thought she was just permanently engaged because the nigga was paid.
You know how much spackle that had to be on her face?
Man, she had to be. You know what? She looks like a bumpy ass road.
Let me tell you
I'm looking
man.
at this I'm just trying to find this motherfucker's mug right now.
Let me tell you what's so sad about what you just said there, Art. If you were doing the equivalent of KRS and a female KRS, that female would actually look better than that bitch. She is the equivalent of KRS's uglier brother, much uglier brother.
Her face looked like corrosion.
Her face looks like
like the barrel reef.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm looking at this dude. I'm looking at this guy. His name is. Ooh. Am I allowed to mention the name or not?
Yeah, you can mention the name. I mean,
his name is Sean Townsend.
What's that chick? Tawana Burke. Oh my god, Tawana Burke's face looked like wet drop ceiling.
Hey,
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Doesn't that name fit perfectly? Like if somebody told you Tawana Burke, isn't that exactly what you would pick? If somebody just said the name Tawana Burke.
How the fuck she get that shit on her face?
Oh gosh! Oh.
And the smile with that girl, and the smile shit.
You know what her face looks like? To be honest with you,
what?
You ever seen Corn Pops?
Wow! Yeah. I see. Yeah. Oh.
Or bubble wrap after you pop them.
Magnify Corn Pops up to a million, and just look at the crevices in there. That's her face.
Nigga, let me tell you something, bro.
See, that's what happens when you have a girl. Oh, go ahead. That's what happens when you have a girl who kept the skeet on her face a little too long. Oh my god.
She thought it would heal it. God damn it. You know what I mean? The skeet improved it. It used to be worse probably in that motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had bad acne my whole life. I can lie since I hit fucking high school and shit, right? Mm-hmm. I saw her face and was like, God damn, Jesus, not so bad, goddamn. I'm not so bad because she and you like, dude, pick a. Hey, what's Reese gonna? She say, pick a struggle, man. You look like that. You got that going on, and you got a nose that reaches the outer edges of your eyes, and you're fat. Come on, man. Do something about one.
See, what's bad about it is her nickname in high school was Stoneface.
Ain't much change, that's for sure.
Look like the brown gargoyle now. Shit.
Well, that's
Permastone.
That's
I could scrape my feet off her damn chin.
That must be a powerful chin.
And the bottom of your heels are gonna come off with it.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, her face look like it'll grab you.
Her face looked like she scared the shit out of anything from the jungle. That's what it looked like.
Scared back into the jungle.
Did you see the skin on that motherfucker? Like jaguars. And jaguars are like psychopaths in the jungle. Mm-hmm. They scared, they trotting out. Like, did you see the skin on that
Her face is so jacked up, Medusa turned to stone when she looked at her.
Like, dude, you know what a jaguar, if you ever look at a jaguar profile, look like a pit bull. The way they're built and everything.
They're just very
Scary as
muscular.
sight.
They got the
Very
strongest bite of
muscular.
any big. They have the strongest bite of any big cat.
Yep.
And,
Really?
and,
Not
and you know
even
what?
lion?
Heard that shit. The
They
lions
have
and tigers included.
put it to you this way: the jaguar has twice the bite force of a lion or a tiger.
Ooh, that's brutal.
So in other words, they actually jump in the water with caiman,
Yep.
pierce the skull with their teeth, crush it.
The back
Crush
of the
their
skull,
skulls.
the back of the neck.
Yeah, and even
Drag it out.
anacondas, stay the fuck away from jaguars. They be like,
Ooh,
Mhm.
is that
psychopaths.
bad? Mhm.
They
You
the
know,
baddest motherfucker in the jungle, man. And
Muscular,
you gotta think,
powerful, giant
pound for pound,
claws.
pound for pound,
They
they're the
can climb
strongest big cat.
trees.
They can climb trees with like fucking shit that weighs 1,000 pounds in their mouth.
the first time I saw one
Mhm.
climb a tree with a fucking deer, I said, "Those motherfuckers are that goddamn strong, dude." You know, I'm gonna tell you. I'll be honest with you.
Oh,
You know,
wait. Which documentary was it, first of all? Was it based in Asia, Africa, or is it South America?
No, this was Asia, Africa.
No, it's not. No, that's not a jaguar. That's a leopard. Jaguars are exclusively to Central and South America.
Yeah, like leopards are like the gay cousins of jaguars.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. All right. So
Leave the leopards out like
check this
that.
out. You know, I used to think, you know, especially when the motherfucker was like, I wasn't reading watching documentaries and shit when I was a teenager, right? I was always a very athletic motherfucker and shit. So I always thought, you know, if nothing else, the big animals, I mean, outside of a tiger, you know, cat, whatever, right? I could just outrun the motherfuckers if I ever really get into some problems. So like gorillas, bears, orangutans.
Nah, you can't outrun a bear.
Baboons and shit.
You can't outrun bears. You can't outrun bears. They reach up to
Somebody
speeds of
told
30
me
to
a
40
fucking
miles an
bear.
hour.
When I first found out a bear can do 35 miles a fucking hour, I was like, well, dude, what chance do we fucking really stand? Baboon, you know, a baboon can run as fast as a fucking leopard. 35 miles per hour. That's how fast a leopard. I'm like, dude, we don't really stand a chance against these damn things.
I mean, you gotta think, a silverback gorilla possibly has the same strength as like 10 Olympic weightlifters.
Yeah.
So you gotta think a chimpanzee has 3 times the strength of a human being. 3 times, like about a human being.
Yeah,
muscular as hell.
Yeah, Alcatech. We were done with National Geographic right now.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna do about a couple more minutes, and I'm gonna cut it off because I know Art Nostal's about to do his stream.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a bad animal.
I gotta swing out the Sir O's what matters. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I'll tell you one of the baddest animals I ever saw though was the honey badger.
Yeah.
Bad motherfucker.
The honey badger don't care because the honey badger don't give a fuck.
I keep telling people this: anything that gets bit by a cobra, wakes up and eats the same damn cobra is not an animal you should be fucking with.
Yeah.
You know what scares a cobra more than a honey badger?
A honey badger will go up against fucking a pride of lions.
Yep.
His skin is so fucking thick. The skin is so fucking thick they can't pierce him. They can't hurt him.
They can't cut it with a knife. He'll
go into a wasp or a bee's nest, take the honey while getting stung enough that he's not fit.
He's not fast. And they're highly intelligent and escape artists. I mean, there was a South African. He kept one.
Oh, yeah, that was funny as hell. He kept on getting out.
I saw that. And when they put up the female would help him trying to get up, try to get out. But here's something that's really scary.
Man, that's
the European equivalent.
A fucking honey badger gets more cooperation from his woman than we do.
Damn.
It's funny you mention that, Charles.
Hold on, Charles. She helped him get out, and he helped us to put us in.
No, she helped him get out, right? And then he went to get something to help her climb out.
And you see, this is why the honey badger knows how to do it right. And you know what the difference between a lion and a cat? You know, cats, where do they usually attack? They usually go for the jugular, right? Honey badgers are the most vicious.
Ooh, they go for your nuts.
They go for the
groin. They go for the groin area.
Like you look at hyenas. Hyenas and honey badgers will go for the groin. Like you'll see a hyena bite a wildebeest's nutsack.
Oh yeah, the hind legs, the crutch area, everything.
Like you'll say just as bad as a wolverine.
You know, a honey badger is actually the honey badgers and wolverines are actually cousins. I mean, the
Yeah.
wolverines are the European and North American equivalents to the honey badgers.
And then the
And those
Wolverines live up
guys,
they live up to their
you know
fucking
what?
name.
And they are fucking assholes. You know how much of an asshole they are? I mean, I remember watching, was it Wild Europe on Animal Planet once? It's dead of winter. And this female Wolverine was uncovering whatever carrion she had buried for the winter, right? It's frozen and she has a strong jaw. She can rip right through it. A pack of wolves came by and she saw them, right? And just to be a fucking asshole, and she knew they were gonna battle her for it, and she didn't have the time to fight them. Instead, she stands over the carcass, wags her tail around, and starts defecating all around the carcass.
Ugh.
And she says, "No, she did. She shits on it. Then she walks up. Then she backs up and says, "You want to go for it?" The wolves just said, "You know what? Fuck this. You can miss us with that shit. Get the fuck out. We ain't got time for that shit."
Like,
And then she went back to eating it.
Like
That,
you nasty
what a bitch!
Like you nasty. Yeah, so instead of calling black women bitches, we should call Wolverines.
Oh,
Nah, actually, no, they're hyenas.
nobody
More like
don't know
hyenas.
Nobody don't know what that means. That's a new
Yeah.
term.
So because either way, you still get shitted on. But anyway.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, you
But
ever
the thing
seen a
about
Wolverine in Canada, right? They're
oh
known for
man,
they're so vicious. They made full-grown bears run up trees.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, damn, that's
they
bad.
fight bears, wolves. They'll fight. They'll go for the carrot. They'll fuck anything up. Just like animals in the savannah don't fuck with the honey badger. In fact, whatchamacall, no, I don't think they have how far south is a Wolverine's range in North America?
Probably the tip of fucking Washington State but they usually majority of them are in
Canada,
like Alberta,
Alaska. They're plenty of them in Alaska.
That's pretty much where they stay.
We got plenty of them. We got a few of those up here in Norway, Finland, Sweden, Russia. Badass motherfuckers. And the funny thing about it is go ahead.
No, I'm just
Is it
saying.
time?
I understand I was probably getting ready to start this live. So, last reports on what the men want.
All right. Well, let me say this. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If you ain't got iPhone with iOS 15, your phone ain't shit.
I like to say this. R.P.L swallows the cum and breast milk of Brittany Cooper, Lizzo, and any other fat bitch ever. Goodbye. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
AB Media.
I can't. Okay, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. I'm out.
Y'all guys, for real.
I'm out of here.
All right.
I'm out of here. All I can say is I realize that, it's always quite a joy and very entertaining when Art of IBMOR and Charles Faulkner have their daily jousts, their regular joust,
Yeah.
It's Ali and Frazier. That's all I can say about it. It's Ali and Frazier.
Hey, you always got to take jabs. But all right, guys, I will catch you guys on the next live stream and next pre-recorded. Peace, people. Appreciate the conversation. I thought it was a very important stream to have, and I will honor you guys. I'm honored that you guys are watching. So, black men, don't be afraid to think about yourselves, and it's not wrong. It's not. All right. Peace, everybody in the chat. Peace, everybody that's watching. Keep it moving. Peace.